It's MPJ time. It's new rock album review time. And it's time to say hi to Andy, to Dave, to Trish, and to Paul. Welcome back. Welcome back. Episode 10 of January 2025 album reviews. And if you just tuned in for the first time, we review albums, rate them out of 5. Will they reach our Hall of Fame? Be consigned to the bin? Who knows? Let's go and find out. Today's offering is the wonderful Cure and their albums Songs of a Lost World. Now, let's start with somebody who we've definitely found in some lost world. It's Andy!
Hello there, hi. I think I'm probably still in a lost world somewhere. I'm happy there. It's a nice place. That's the thing.
Indeed.
So, okay, well, we're talking about The Cure, aren't we? Obviously, probably one of the best-known bands which we're talking about this week, True For It. Practically, Robert Smith defined the goth look back in the 80s. And, you know, if you just start listing off some of the songs which the Cure have been known for, you know, we've got songs like Boys Don't Cry, Close to Me, Lullaby, and, of course, probably their most unlike Cure song, which is Friday I'm in Love, which obviously a massive anthem back in the 90s, True For It. And now, after 16 years from their last album, we have Songs of a Lost World. And it's interesting when you get bands which, or actually really we just talk about Robert Smith here. And so it's interesting when you get bands which have been so long, they suddenly come out with an album. They don't need to, they don't have to, but it's clear that obviously they've got something which they want to say and do. And this album is very dark. It's a very beautiful album, and it reminds me a little bit of other artists which have done something similar like this towards the end of their career. We're talking about maybe David Bowie coming out with Black Star, the Last Rush album. It's an album about growing old. It's an album about losing things, but it is sonically fantastic. There's very little fit on this album. It's only 8 songs on it, and I think it's a very, very good album indeed. Yeah, the last song, End Song, is a beautiful song. It's wonderful, but yeah, it goes through. It's widely, they're all strong all the way through. So I'm going to fight my corner for it and say it's a great.
Right. Well, Dave, are you going to be?
Black.
Sorry, we lost you there a second.
Well,
Dave, are you going to be in Andy's corner, or are you going to be in a different corner? No,
if Andy's the yin, then I'm the yang on this one, I'm afraid. The only song I can say that I've heard of The Cure before and can definitely sort of picture in my mind is Boys Don't Cry. They fucking do if they listen to this album. This was terrible. It made me want to self-harm. I've got to be honest. It all blended into one. It all sounded like the same thing. Again, there's nothing there that really interests me. I've got a funny feeling though, again, it's not the target audience for this, I don't think. I mean, The Cure were possibly a little bit before my time. So, it's definitely not one for me, this.
Well, somebody who's always one for everybody, Trish. Loved by everybody. What about The Cure?
Okay, so I've got a bit of a story to tell about this band. Sorry if I'm going to bore people, but one of my favourite albums in the 80s when I was a teenager was The Cure, Standing on the Beach, which introduced me to their gothic, post-punk, new wave alternative rock sound. A far cry from what I was into at that time of Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, glam rock, arena metal. Such was the power of that album, with so many classic tracks that started my journey following their music right through to the late 90s. Then, when I had the chance to see them play in Hyde Park in 2018, I was beside myself. I was so excited to see them play songs from that album that hooked me in. But they never played that one. You know, the one that everyone sings along to, dances to perfectly, Love Cats. I was aghast. Teenage dreams shattered, heartbroken even, and there ended my love affair with The Cure. So now they are back in 2024 with this album brought to our podcast, so I must listen. Will they pull it out of the bag, bring something special to me to make me fall in love with them again? To praise this album, I would say it is the iconic bread and butter Cure sound. The melodic guitars, Robert's vocals haven't faltered through the years. Drone, No Drone, All I Am are pinnacle tracks on the album, giving me a little bit of hope. But unfortunately for me, it just lacked some firepower as a whole that I was so desperately looking for. This is not to say loyal fans won't absolutely love it, and it is bound to hook new fans in, like they did when I was a teenager. These guys have been in the business long enough to know what they are doing and what works for them. Kudos to them for this.
Paul, will it be the Andy corner, the Dave corner, or in the middle of the ring, the Trish corner?
Okay, so Cure have been around for decades, and when they're good, they're great. And when they're bad, it's really bad. And I was surprised to read Andy's review in the Rolling Stone magazine, where he said that Songs of a Lost World is the triumphant power doom epic it needed to be. Fully the Cure's best since Disintegration, as Smith reaches into the depths of his cobwebbed heart, going deep into adult loss and grief. If power doom is your thing, then you might just listen to this album as you walk into oblivion. Unfortunately for me, I found the whole thing to be boring, long drawn out intros before vocalist Robert Smith breaks into song, which is a real shame as he still has a great voice. Sure, the songs like Fragile Thing and All I Ever Am are laced with dark humour we expect from The Cure, but I found the whole album to be a hard slog.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Andy. I was just pulling your leg. I know you didn't write for Rolling Stone.
I was going to say.
But after listening to your review, you could have. So.
Yeah, that's a promotion, isn't it?
There are some good things in this album. There are some terrible things on the album. So just pick out some of the negative things. Paul, you're absolutely right. I mean, why the long intros? For God's sake! I mean, just like, because when it kicked in, it was actually quite good on times. You know, why? And then, you know, going into to Dave, it was all a bit too doom and gloom, really. And I don't mind a bit of, like, you know, doom and gloom. I quite, you know, I like my melodic rock kind of, you know, deep, meaningful sort of stuff. But there was just that spark that was missing. That I was so actually genuinely, I put this onto the list because typically when we tend to like not like these sort of albums of older bands that come back. But I was really genuinely excited because one thing about the Cure is they would always surprise me. They would always have a song out there. I remember the Spider song, and do you know what I mean? And they always pulled something out of the bag that would just smack me in the face and just make me fall in love with it, no matter what. There was just none of that on this album. I'm happy to see that he's exploring that adolescent pain and stuff. But, mate, honestly, you've got to bring something else. You've got to break it up. You've got to. Well, unless of course and as Dave says, he's aimed at a very particular target audience, but for non-target audience like me who do like the Cure, you are looking for something. You are looking for something to hook on. You are looking for something that song that's gonna make everything else worthwhile the journey, and it just didn't happen. But it was also one of those albums that I appreciated as some of the singing and musicality, and I appreciated the artistry that went into the album, even though it just didn't grab me. Okay, well, let's find out. I have a funny feeling it's not quite going to get into our Hall of Fame, but let's start in a positive fashion and find out what we actually did rate then. Andy?
I'm going to fight to score it. I think it's a dark, beautiful masterpiece. I'll give it a 5. There you go. You're all wrong.
Dave? Dave, you're not alone. Cully also. You and Cully have been in sync. Cully also give it a 1 as well. Trish?
0.5.
And Paul?
Oh, 1.5.
I'm gonna throw my hat into the ring with Trish and also give it a 2.5 as well. We're gonna drop. We're gonna drop Cully's one. If he's not here, he's gonna get dropped. Dave, we're gonna keep to your one as well, mate, because you've come back. So we're dropping Cully's 0. Scored Bizzardi exactly in the middle, 12.5. It's scored a 2.5. So. Some good and bad things to be said about the album. What do you think? Please leave your comment. You know, will our Cure fans string us up? Will our non-Cure fans agree with us? Check out the album. Leave a comment. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Tell us what you think. And keep on rocking. And goodbye for now.
Bye.